Hello, my absolutely beautiful Taurus friends, and welcome to your horoscope for January of 2023. We're Taurus this month. I bet you can see the background looks a little different, a little crazy. I've got big news coming for you in the February videos, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So we'll get to all of that as we push towards the February timeframe. But Taurus, I want to tell you right out of the gate here, January 2023, get prepared to trust your intuition, right? We've got Jupiter preparing to move into the energy of Taurus, but as we come into January, we have got beautiful Jupiter traveling through the energy of Aries, and I really want to emphasize that I think that this is a strong point for you to lean into this January, Taurus. Your intuition is strong, and typically, when we see Jupiter traveling through the 12th house, it's like you can almost feel like you have a guardian angel that's traveling with you. You know, the things that you're doing, your intuition is spiritually protected. So tap in, slow down. Jupiter is here expanding your spiritual life, expanding the rest that you need to do because things are going to get busy. Work on things behind the scenes. Even if you're trying something new out, you're launching it out, you're trying on a little style. Remember that really until May, you're not going to have this huge expansion with it out. So instead, trust your intuition right now. Rest, study, dig into your creative side, and let yourself be rejuvenated before you have this expansion out. Now, of course, this month we are also going to see Mars and Mercury coming out of retrograde, which I think everyone will just absolutely welcome. But we've also got Uranus turning direct in your sign as well. So busy month, lots going on. Let's not delay. Let's get in here and talk about what's going on, Taurus. So right at the beginning of the month on the 2nd, we're going to see Venus moving out of that energy of Capricorn and moving into the energy of Aquarius. Now, for you, Taurus, this lights up the tip top of your chart, okay? This is the 10th house space, career, your reputation in public, the business that you do. And even if you're unemployed, I want you to think along the lines of work that maybe you want to do. Responsibilities you want to take on, your title. You know, do we call you mom? Do we call you grandpa? Do we call you aunt? Do we call you married? Do we call you single? What's your title that you also carry when you're in public? This is a big piece of that energy. But as Venus comes here, Venus is an attracting in energy. So being a bit unconventional in your 10th house area, or having a lot going on in terms of things that require groupings or technology in some way. You know, you can also think about this as like your inspiration, your love, your desire, how you even attract people to you is changing because you have innovated. So this is a wonderful opportunity to be a part of that. Take on, have a relationship, have a collaboration, have an experience in your career life that maybe you wouldn't have had otherwise. So be a bit experimental as you experience this energy, okay? When we get to the 6th, we've got this gorgeous full moon happening at 16 degrees of Cancer. Now, first and foremost, the full moon is going to ask us to end something, acknowledge something, or to make an adjustment, right? But this lights up your 3rd house space. So you've got a lot of light shining for you, Taurus, over communication, negotiations, decisions you're making. Are you planning to buy something, sell something, teach something, going over wording for a book, for a website? You know, what is it that you're maybe entering into that is some kind of negotiation, or you need to bring it to an adjustment, to a culmination, whatever it is. This particular full moon, I think, is going to be really very useful to you to be able to make some of those decisions, okay? When we get to the 12th, we see Mars coming out of retrograde, turning direct in the energy of Gemini. So some of the pressure of feeling like we're in this bottleneck is going to start to relieve. Remember, we still need to get all the way to March 15th so that Mars can be fully out of this retrograde cycle and it feels like, okay, things can actually move forward. But this is a nice moment of some pressure relief for sure. So take advantage of it, okay? Now, Mars is coming out of Gemini, is coming out of retrograde in Gemini in your 2nd house. So one of the things I was thinking about is, first of all, look between 8 degrees and 25 degrees of Gemini in your chart. Okay, this is where you want to see where the retrograde cycle has been working for you in your around your second house energy in the general. Finances, the way that you make money, passive income, the things that you value, your values that you'll go out and stand on, your self-worth. All of these things have been in heavy review, and the strategy that you've been using to get things done has been under review as well. Maybe you needed to learn something about how to make money. Maybe you were building something to teach. You were gaining a new teacher. You're doing something like that. So you've been reviewing that area. But I also think that a part of the review in your finances has been really looking at how you're using and interacting with money, because Mars in Gemini can kind of create a bigger expense or a bigger outputting of money as well, especially as Mars starts to move more direct and pick up speed. You could see yourself needing to put out a fair expenditure. You know, are you buying a house? Are you buying a car? What are you doing with that energy? Whatever it is, look at what you desire around your financial area and the strategies you're using to achieve that, and make sure that they line up and are on par, okay? On the 18th, we see Mercury coming out of retrograde in that energy of Capricorn. So we're also going to see, I think this is so interesting, it's like the energy of eights, right? Because we see Mars come out of retrograde at 8 degrees of Gemini. We're going to see Mercury come out of retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn, right? So it's really this interesting dynamic. And if we look into 2022 and see all the times that we had moons at 16 degrees, and we've also got one happening with the full moon happening on the 6th, it's really fascinating to see the things that are divisible by 2 and where the number 8 is showing up. You know, so if you're one of our numerology friends, let me know about the 8's energy in the comment section down below. Either way, Mercury coming direct in the energy of Capricorn. Now we're going to see Mercury fully out of its retrograde cycle as we get to February 7th, but typically Mercury coming out of retrograde, we can get back on the hustle bustle. So this is going to be in your 9th house space. Publishing, marketing, broadcasting. So truly making decisions, making travel plans, learning a language, getting documentation moving forward for international business, contracts, legal things. You could see these things start to move forward in this energy for absolutely sure. And I'll tell you too, if you were building something, you wanted to study something, get higher education, teaching a philosophy in some way about business, legacy, structure, things like that, this energy is very supportive there, okay? On the 20th, we see the sun moving into the energy of Aquarius. So we'll say happy birthday to our Aquarian friends, but now you've got the sun also lighting up with Venus up here into this Aquarian vibration, okay? So the sun brings light, heat, life, and vitality. So as the sun is here and it's moving in this Aquarian energy, it's your once a year opportunity to innovate, Taurus. Innovate. Go find out new things. You want knowledge, you're curious, you're friendly, you're willing to be social in some way. So even if the best way that you can go find knowledge or new information about your innovation, or you can share it, or you can bring it into your life, do it online, right? Maybe there's something in the structure of how you've been studying your astrology that more information is coming to light in some way, and you're feeling really very supported in that, or feeling supported in putting this out in your career. I also think that Aquarius season and the new moon that's going to happen on the 21st really have you in a position, Taurus, where you are like, I am ready to break out of my career zone. I'm willing to break out of what has been here, right? I'm willing to do this a little bit different. I'm willing to have a different title. And it opens the doors at this new moon on the 21st at 1 degree of Aquarius for a whole new experience for you, right? So I can't wait to see where you're planting your seeds of intention to take advantage of new opportunity. The new ships are coming in and ready to sail, Taurus. Get on one, honey, if you are ready to change the direction of your life. As we get to the 22nd, now we're going to see Uranus coming out of retrograde in your sign right there in the first house. We saw Uranus step into retrograde May 7th of 2022. It will complete the full retrograde cycle in May of 2023. But Uranus retrograde, and Uranus in your sign in general has had you shaken, not stirred, right? Am I right? I'm a Taurus too, so I get it, right? Like you've just been put out of your comfort zone. It is like electrocuting a mountain, right? You're in earth energy. Now we've got this shakeup happening. And when that happens, it's great because it unearths the bodies from your soil, right? Where it's like, you need to deal with that, Taurus. You need to be honest with how you feel about that, what that means, where that comes from. But it also unearths the gems, the minerals, the gifts, the talents, the moving in and down, which is the glyph in alchemy of earth. It's in and down. So where are you working from your core right now, Taurus, to produce a different version of yourself, to allow innovation to come to you, to see your advancement, to see the things in your life that are blocking you from freedom, the freedom that you would like to have? And I think you're very much so on fire with taking it on under this energy. Now, some of those things that you have seen from August, between August and January, you'll be able to take a little bit of action on moving those freedom energies, those rebellions forward in your life, okay? Now, when we get to the 26th, we're going to see Venus move into the energy of Pisces. So it's done with this tour through the Aquarian energy. And as Venus moves into Pisces, exalted, happy, living its best life. It's your ruling planet. So when the ruling planet is comfortable, we're typically quite comfortable. This is going to light up your 11th house space. So groups, friends, organizations, your long range plans, goals, and designs for yourself. Okay, so with these energies, one of the things I want to tell you is forgiveness. Forgiveness, 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 right? Venus may actually call into you past situations, right? Past situations that require some forgiveness on your part, right? Because Venus is going to call it in to reconnect a harmony. Okay, so you could have, Taurus, with Venus and Pisces, you sit in the throne of your ethereal goddess here. And it is a big task. It is a big responsibility to move from the position of judgment to discernment about the things that have happened in our lives. It is a big task. It is a big responsibility to to accept, to make peace with, to release, to culminate sometimes an apology that you haven't gotten, right? It is also a very big responsibility, I think, with Venus here, to make the apologies that you need to clean up where you need to. And even if the apology, and even if that amend, that healing, that culmination, that soothing that's coming to you, available to you, is you to yourself, right? Where are you allowing yourself to align with groupings of people who can help you facilitate your own healing? And sometimes your own healing really just has to do with connecting with groups. If you've been out here, you've been on the hustle, or you've been by yourself for a very long time, and Venus is like calling in tribe. It's calling in some healing. Now, I also think in a very practical way too, Venus is about that money. So if you're doing something with groups, or you're investing in some way, or even in your government, are there checks coming from a global body, right? What are these things looking like? Because Venus can just as easily call in a financial situation into your life as well as Venus turning a friend into a lover through this transit through Pisces, which we will see all the way until February 20th. Man, I hope that you have a fantastic month, Taurus. I really cannot wait to see what you get up to. So please let me know in the comment section down below. I look forward to supporting you. Lots of content coming along the way, and even more love coming from me to you. Bye, Taurus.